Yo, what's going on YouTube? I'm back with another video. Today we got top 10 best new anime of the summer. So we about to get straight into
We're
it.
approaching the tail end of the summer. Have you found something to watch? A lot of people wait until the season's nearing its end to pick up a show to binge, and that's what I'm
Let me full screen it.
here to help you with today. Today's list will feature what I think are the 10 best shows for you to watch. I won't be adding any sequels to this list. Let's get started. I Parry Everything sounds like a good start for this season, doesn't it?
Sounds interesting.
With how many anime there is in this genre, it's really hard for some fantasy action shows to stand out. They often employ some gimmicks to differentiate themselves from their peers, a lot of which have somewhat similar overarching ideas of an underdog protagonist making the most of their deficiencies. I Parry Everything is right up that alley, starring a dense protagonist who has one skill of note, as the title suggests. Our protagonist Noor has the ability to parry everything, but he's completely oblivious to the fact and how strong he is. Whether you enjoy a show like this is up in the air. It's got decent production values if anything, and it brings a good balance of comedy and action, although your enjoyment of it is largely predicated by how much you can stand idiotic protagonists and a whole lot of misunderstandings. I think it's a fun enough watch for passing the time, but it's just number 10 amongst the new anime this season for a reason.
Okay.
Gigi Harem is next on the list.
すいません。演劇部の部室ってどこですか？
俺演劇部の王道部長の北浜英二
With how much of a bad rap the harem tag has gotten over the years, it's not surprising that having the term on the title has caused several generalist anime fans to overlook hidden gems like this one. Still, there's a lot of potential for the harem genre, and we've had outlandish premises like 100 Girlfriends already. Gigi Harem does things in a rather intriguing way. How about instead of having a lot of girls fawning over a protagonist, it's one girl acting out various personas. Now that's the gist of this really entertaining comedy revolving around drama club members Rin
That's actually pretty interesting. I won't lie.
and Iji. Gigi
Different
Harem,
persona.
literally translated to pseudo harem, is overall a sweet slice of life that just about anyone can enjoy. The two leads have good chemistry, and that makes it one of the better anime from this season that you can pick up if you're up for some fluffy and heartwarming anime for a change of pace. Too bad it's got some tough competition this season. More on that later.
だから
Getting 8 ads every 20 minutes is
Before we continue this video, I know a lot of JJK fans are upset about the news of the manga ending, but worry not, because Jujutsu Kaisen Phantom Parade, the first officially licensed Jujutsu Kaisen mobile game, is here, and the pre-registrations are open now. You can pre-register through the App Store, Google Play Store, and the official game website. Get ready for some to 25 draws. So, to defeat terrifying cursed spirit. JJK Phantom Assemble event and earn up to latest updates on SNL.
満足のいく作品
In another world.
君のおかげで久々に
No longer what?
And make sure to check out No Longer Allowed in Another World.
Allowed.
おかげで久々に満足のいく作品が書けたよ
Think something like Konosuba, but with a darker, more morbid tone. That's the most basic summary I can give you of this anime. Typically, being transported into another world with powers and cute girls is an aspiring author's dream, but that's not the case for Osamu Dazai. Yes, that Osamu Dazai. In fact, he wants off the ride immediately, so he keeps searching for the perfect way and place to die. Unfortunately for him, though, machinations of all kinds seem to prevent that one wish, giving him what we can summarize to be plot armor, one that he wants obviously nothing to do with. What makes No Longer Allowed in Another World very fun for me is how it portrays the protagonist as a fish out of water. With him being from an ancient era, things like stats and other staples of isekai are foreign concepts to him. He also shows a level of self-awareness which, coupled with the side characters that he has a lot of entertaining banter with, make for an anime that will leave you in stitches. How about checking out another comedy from this season, My Dear Friend Nokotan?
Damn.
If you've been anywhere near any anime community on the internet lately, you've no doubt heard about this show. The memes are everywhere, and people have rightly called it brain rot anime. Affectionately, of course. For the most part, those assertions are correct in that My Dear Friend Nokodan is a comedic anime that doesn't really play to standards, if you get my drift. There is a story, alright, but it's mostly just an avenue for which the anime can throw its deer-related gag humor at the audience. For all the social media presence and the marketing, I do think that My Dear Friend Nokodan has garnered quite a polarized reception so far. The jokes can honestly be a bit hit or miss, and a lot of it is just quite, it's just silly and off the wall for a lack of a better term. It's like that comedian that just throws things randomly at you and does so with reckless abandon, and you'll be pressed to keep up with the tempo. But still, it's got its charm, and you can see for yourself if it's to your liking. Suicide Squad finds itself staring at the halfway mark.
Oh, I heard about this. That's sad.
Entering the season, I had high hopes
they
for
got
the
the
Suicide
Joker?
Squad anime, and I felt a lot of anime
Okay.
fans did so too. Honestly, what we got as the season rolled on isn't that shabby.
Harley
As far
Quinn.
as the Suicide Squad IP is concerned, this anime still manages to retain the fun interactions amongst the main characters, and watching this funny band of misfits attempt to conquer the world of Isekai does have its charms. Studio Wit also brought their production chops to the table, and you can tell there's a lot of awesomeness in terms of the action scenes and the sound direction. Although, I do admit it can feel a bit basic for an isekai. Unfortunately, it's one of the shows that doesn't offer anything too new to the genre. While I normally don't have super high standards about uniqueness and put execution above everything, the total package does feel lacking for how excited I was for the anime entering the season. Still though, the characters are entertaining, and the train wreck nature of Suicide Squad, characterized by comedy and violence, has been captured perfectly, and that could be a reason to watch.
絶対意味わかんないんだけど
Oh shit.
Found anything to your
Homework.
fancy just yet? Well, we still have 5 more anime to feature, so don't go anywhere. But in the meantime, go hit that like button to show your support, and let me know if you like this season's lineup. Let's not wait any longer, back to the list we go. Shoshimin series opens our second half.
揚げパンのことで来たんじゃないのか
Shoshimin series is something that appeals to a particular niche. A good dose of mysteries, a lot of talking, and character work may not be something that quickly catches the attention of the general anime fan. For those in its target demographic, however, Shoshimin gets the job done really well. They've been raring for a mystery anime like this for quite some time, something that's in a simpler, smaller scale, instead of Sherlock Holmes-like mysteries through various lands. This might just scratch that itch they sorely needed. Whether the anime appeals to you or not is largely determined by how the characters vibe with you and how well the mysteries work. There's a lot of dialogue, and depending on you, the mysteries can either be too simple or interesting enough to keep you engaged with the show. While it's not out there looking to wow the world with the most complex and out-of-the-world plot twist, I'd still say Shoshimin is a welcome addition to the season, a good addition to the library of a genre that's not as represented in anime overall.
Jakey.
Coming up next is Machine.
まさかそんなことをやめろそんな悲しいことはやめるんだ
I've long hailed Isekai for its penchant for finding new ways to give a few interesting twists to its premises and giving us what seems to be a fresh new look at the genre. What I failed to mention is that rom-coms, throughout its long history, are one of the most popular anime genres, also is no slouch in that department. I mean, it's not every day we see a genre-savvy protagonist like Nukumizu. So genre-savvy that he easily recognizes the girls around him as losing heroines, girls who've given up after being rejected by the ones they like. It's not too long before he becomes a shoulder to cry on for one such losing heroine, Anna, which then draws him to more girls in a similar dilemma. Machine is one of the best comfort watches the season has to offer. While the way it looks has all the makings and potentials to be one of those wacky score harems, the show does subvert expectations. I especially like how it portrays Nukumizu as having a more wholesome and parent/senior-like relationship with the girls. The characters do a lot of the heavy lifting in making the show an enjoyable watch. While it has its fair share of touching moments that a lot of teenagers can relate to, it also captures some of the most non-glamorous parts of teenage love, like character insecurities. Alia sometimes hides her feelings in Russian is the first of our top 3.
Oh, I remember this. I watched like 2 episodes. It's actually really good.
This show has undeniably become the marketing juggernaut of the season, and it's pretty much everywhere. To its credit though, the anime itself does a really good job of being a fan's weekly rom-com experience. The characters all have fun personalities that shine even better when they play off each other, and it's a healthy mix of misunderstandings, comedic timing, and some wholesome every now and then. Of course, the number of fan service moments also helps, and they accentuate the charms of the main female characters while not being excessive enough to turn off the average fan who just wants the rom-com elements. Did this anime become the best new anime of the season with how everyone was projecting before the season started? Subjective given my genre preference, but I'd say no. However, it misses the mark just by an inch, I'd say, and in some aspects like character appeal, it's really the best the season has to offer for me. If you're in any way interested in the rom-com genre, then don't miss this anime.
Yep, I feel like if you're into rom-coms, this is gonna be it. Because it is funny.
At number 2, we have The Elusive Samurai.
I remember this.
どうかお気をお静めに。
With how successful Apothecary Diaries has been, it's not so surprising that we might be seeing an uptick in these historical fiction stories lately. Something similar to the vibes of that and say Yona of the Dawn or Color Cloud Palace. The Elusive Samurai falls neatly into that historical kingdom aesthetic, and it's one of the overlooked new anime this season for what it brings to the table. The first thing you'd notice about Elusive Samurai is the art, both in the overall look of things and the action scenes. Good thing given how much atmosphere plays into titles in the genre. With likeable characters to the mix, there's a lot to keep you immersed.
That dude funny.
That's a good thing because it's a bit of a slow burn for a Shonen Jump title. I agree that it may not be to everyone's fancy, but having read the source material, I say it's worth the wait. The story, while basic at first glance, only gets better in due time. It's a shame with how little coverage this got entering the season.
私は必ずここに帰る。
Topping the list is a show that might surprise you, Wisteria Wand and Sword.
My show.
その惨劇は雷をもしのぐ。
Ever liked the likes of Mashal and Black Clover and wanted more of the same? You know, the whole setup of the protagonist being seemingly useless with spells and such in a world where magic is king? Well, look no further from what I think is the sleeper hit of the season, Wisteria Wand and Sword. Given the comparisons already, it's clear that uniqueness isn't this anime's selling point. However, where it does shine is its execution. The animation, the fluidity of the fighting scenes, the overall plot progression and direction, everything has been done with much love and effort that you rarely see from shows like this. You don't get dumped with exposition, and you get to see the main aspects of its world building drip-fed to you piece by piece. There's a lot to like about this anime, even though it really feels like something season fans would have already seen at this point in time. Wisteria is my pick for top anime for this season, just because it's so good in terms of actual production, and has a simple premise that I can easily recommend people on this channel. It may not be anything super original, but with the elements that should work for a show like this, it does things so well. We all have different opinions and tastes, so I'd love to know your picks. So go on and tell everyone what you think.
Alright, y'all, that's the end of this video. Let me know down below in the comments section what was your favorite anime. If you've seen any of these animes, like, what's the word? Let me know. With that being said, I'ma holla at y'all. Hope y'all staying safe.